Once upon a time, there was a poor boy named Jack, who lived with his mother. They had no money or food and were struggling to survive. One day, Jack went to town to sell their only cow. On his way, he met a mysterious old man who offered to trade 5 magic beans for the cow. Jack, who was foolish and eager for adventure, accepted the offer. When he got home, his mother was furious and threw the beans out of the window. The next morning, Jack discovered that the beans had grown into a giant beanstalk that reached up into the sky. Curiosity got the better of him, and he climbed the beanstalk, which led him to a giant's castle. Jack found himself face to face with a giant, who he managed to avoid by hiding in the castle. While he was there, he discovered that the giant had a hen that laid golden eggs. Jack stole the hen and ran back down the beanstalk. Jack's mother was delighted with the hen and the gold it provided them. However, Jack couldn't resist returning to the castle for more treasure. On his second visit, he stole a bag of gold coins. The giant, who had realized that someone had been in his castle, chased after Jack. Jack managed to climb down the beanstalk before the giant caught him. But when he reached the bottom, he chopped down the beanstalk, causing the giant to fall to his death. The moral of the story is that greed and dishonesty will eventually lead to one's downfall. Jack's desire for treasure caused him to steal and put himself and his mother in danger. He eventually learned the hard way that his actions have consequences. Once upon a time, in the heart of the jungle, there lived a tiny elephant named Ellie. She was much smaller than all the other elephants, and often felt left out because of her size. One day, Ellie decided to go on an adventure to find a way to become bigger. On her journey, Ellie met a wise old owl who told her that size did not matter, and that what mattered most was being kind and helpful to others. Ellie was not convinced and continued her journey. As she continued her journey, Ellie found herself in danger when she stumbled upon a hunter's trap. She was trapped and could not free herself. Just then, a group of animals came to her rescue. They worked together to free Ellie from the trap. Ellie realized then that even though she was small, make a difference and help others. She returned home to her family and friends, and shared her newfound knowledge with them. Moral of the story. The moral of the story is that size doesn't matter when it comes to kindness and helpfulness. It teaches children that everyone has something valuable to offer, regardless of their size or appearance. It also emphasizes the importance of working together to help others and being grateful for the help of others. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Little Red Riding Hood who lived with her mother and her puppy in a small village. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her, take some food to her grandmother. who lived in a cottage on the other side of the woods. Little Red Riding Hood set off with a basket of food. And a red hood that her mother had made for her. As she walked through the woods, she met a sly wolf who asked her where she was going. Little Red Riding Hood, unaware of the wolf's cunning ways, innocently told him that she was going to her grandmother's cottage. The wolf, who had other plans, suggested that Little Red Riding Hood should pick some flowers for her grandmother along the way. Little Red Riding Hood happily did so. While the wolf took a shortcut to the cottage. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived at the cottage, the wolf had already disguised himself as her grandmother. Little Red Riding Hood was surprised. At how her grandmother looked and asked why her eyes and ears were so big. The wolf replied that it was to see and hear her better. Just as the wolf was about to attack Little Red Riding Hood, a woodsman who had heard the commotion came to her rescue. The wolf ran away. And Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother were saved. The moral of the story is that you should never talk to strangers. And always be careful when you are in unfamiliar places. It's important to remember that not everyone has good intentions. And you should always be aware of your surroundings and trust your instincts. Once upon a time, in a beautiful ocean, there lived a happy and playful dolphin named Danny. Danny was known for his extraordinary dance moves. and loved to perform for his friends in the ocean. One day, Danny met a group of new dolphins who were not as friendly as his usual friends. They mocked his dancing and made fun of him, saying that it was silly and useless. Danny felt sad and discouraged by their words. And he stopped dancing altogether. He spent his days swimming alone, feeling lonely and sad. One day, a little fish saw Danny swimming alone. And asked him why he had stopped dancing. Danny told the fish what the other dolphins had said to him and how their words had hurt him. The little fish listened carefully and said, "Danny, don't let the negative words of others bring you down. You are unique, and your dancing brings joy to others. Keep dancing and don't give up on what you love doing." Danny took the little fish's advice and started dancing again. He danced even more beautifully than before, and soon, all the other sea creatures came to watch him perform. The other dolphins saw how happy Danny was and how much joy he brought to others. And they realized their mistake. They apologized to Danny and asked him to teach them how to dance too. Danny forgave them and taught them his best moves. And they all danced together, feeling happy and free. The moral of the story is that we should never let others' negative words discourage us from doing what we love. We should always be true to ourselves and follow our passions, no matter what others may say. And if we do, our unique talents and skills will bring joy and happiness to ourselves and others around us. Once upon a time, in a beautiful garden filled with flowers, there was a littlest bee named Buzzy. Buzzy was the smallest bee in the hive. And she often felt left out and unimportant compared to the other bees. One day, while the other bees were busy collecting nectar from the flowers, Buzzy noticed a small flower that was too narrow for the other bees to reach. Buzzy decided to try her luck and went to the flower. She struggled to get the nectar. But eventually, she succeeded. The other bees noticed Buzz's hard work. And were surprised that the littlest bee had found nectar that they could not. They realized that Buzzy might be small, but she was just as important as the rest of them. From that day onwards, the other bees started to include Buzzy in all their activities and gave her the respect she deserved. Buzzy was happy and grateful that she could contribute to the hive, despite being the smallest bee. The moral of the story is that size doesn't matter, and everyone has something unique to contribute. We should never underestimate ourselves or others based on appearances. Just like Buzzy, everyone has their own strengths and abilities that make them valuable and important. Once upon a time, in a small town, lived two best friends named Billy and Bob. They were always together and did everything together. One day, they heard about a treasure hidden deep in the forest. And they decided to go and find it. They started their journey into the forest. And soon they reached a river. Billy was a good swimmer, but Bob was not. Billy suggested they swim across the river, but Bob was scared. Billy then said that he would carry Bob on his back and swim across the river. Bob agreed, and they reached the other side safely. As they continued their journey, they encountered several obstacles. But they always found a way to overcome them by helping each other. They climbed over high mountains, crawled through narrow caves, and crossed deep valleys. Finally, they found the treasure. But it was guarded by a fierce dragon. Billy and Bob knew they had to be brave and work together to defeat the dragon. They made a plan, and while Billy distracted the dragon, Bob snuck up from behind and captured the treasure. After successfully getting the treasure, they started their journey back home. Along the way, they realized that the treasure was not as important as their friendship and the journey they took together. They learned that by working together, they were able to overcome all the obstacles they faced. The moral of the story is that true friendship is valuable and can help you overcome any obstacle in life. When you have a friend, you have someone to share your journey with, to support you, and to help you when you need it the most. The Great Race. Rabbit versus Tortoise. Once upon a time, There was a rabbit and a tortoise. The rabbit was very proud of his speed and often boasted about how fast he was. The tortoise, on the other hand, was slow and steady but very determined. One day, the rabbit challenged the tortoise to a race. The tortoise, knowing he was slow, accepted the challenge anyway. The race started. And the rabbit immediately shot ahead. Leaving the tortoise far behind. However, as the rabbit ran, he became overconfident and decided to take a nap in the middle of the race. Meanwhile, the tortoise continued on slowly but steadily. Never stopping or slowing down. When the rabbit woke up, he realized that he had underestimated the tortoise. The tortoise had slowly and steadily made his way to the finish line and won the race. The moral of the story is that slow and steady wins the race. It's not always the fastest or the most talented who succeed, but rather those who are determined and keep moving forward. It's important to not give up, even if the journey seems long and difficult, because perseverance and determination can help you reach your goals in the end. The Little Red Hen and Her Lazy Friends. Once upon a time, in a farmyard, there lived a little red hen. She was a hard-working hen who spent all day pecking the ground for grains of wheat. One day, while she was out searching for food, she found some wheat grains. It Excited by her discovery, she ran to her animal friends, a pig, a cat, and a duck, and asked if they would help her plant the wheat. But none of her friends wanted to help. The pig said he was too busy wallowing in the mud. The cat said she needed to nap. And the duck said he preferred swimming. Undeterred, the little red hen decided to plant the wheat herself. She worked hard, day and night, tilling the soil, sowing the seeds, and watering the plants. And soon enough, the wheat grew tall and strong. When the wheat was ripe and ready for harvest, the little red hen again asked her animal friends for help. But they all refused, just as they had done before. So, the little red hen harvested the wheat. Took it to the mill, and ground it into flour. She then took the flour to the oven and baked a delicious loaf of bread. The smell of the bread wafted through the farmyard. And the pig, cat, and duck came running, eager for a slice. But the little red hen refused to share the bread with them. Saying, "I planted the wheat, harvested it, ground it, and baked the bread all by myself. So, I will enjoy it all by myself." The moral of the story is that hard work pays off, and those who refuse to help shouldn't expect to reap the rewards. It's important to be willing to contribute to the work and effort required to achieve a goal, and to be grateful and appreciative of those who do. Kindness creates magic. Once upon a time, in a magical forest, there was a little fairy named Lily. She was kind, smart, and always willing to help others. One day, while flying over the forest, she heard a loud cry for help. She quickly followed the sound and found a tiny bird trapped in a thorn bush. Lily carefully untangled the bird and set it free. The bird was so grateful to Lily that it asked, "How can I repay you for your kindness?" Lily smiled and replied, "You don't have to repay me. But promise me that you will help someone in need one day." Days passed, and Lily went about her daily tasks. Helping other creatures in the forest. She did so much good that soon she became known as the kindest fairy in the forest. One day, while she was resting on a leaf, she heard a voice calling for help. It was the same little bird she had helped before. The bird was being chased by a fox. And it needed Lily's help once again. Without a second thought, Lily flew into action. Distracting the fox and saving the bird's life. The bird was grateful once again and asked Lily, "How can I repay you this time?" Lily replied, "You don't have to repay me. Just remember to help someone else in need when you can." The moral of the story is that kindness is a gift that keeps on giving. When you help someone, they are more likely to help someone else. Creating a chain of goodness that spreads throughout the world. Once upon a time, there was a little kitten named Fluffy. Fluffy was a curious and adventurous kitten who loved to explore new places. One day, while playing outside, Fluffy wandered away from home and soon found herself lost in the big, scary world. Fluffy searched high and low, but she couldn't find her way back home. She meowed and meowed, hoping someone would hear her. But no one came to her rescue. Fluffy started to feel scared and lonely. And she wished she had never left her cozy home. As the night approached, Fluffy began to feel cold and hungry. She realized that her adventure had turned into a disaster. Just as she was about to give up hope, she heard a faint meowing sound in the distance. Fluffy followed the sound and discovered a group of friendly cats who had heard her cries for help. They took Fluffy under their care, fed her, and kept her warm. Fluffy was grateful for their kindness. But she missed her home and family. The kind cats suggested that they take Fluffy on a journey to find her way back home. They traveled through forests, crossed rivers, and climbed mountains. Fluffy was scared at times, but she knew that she had to keep going. After a long and tiring journey, Fluffy finally recognized her surroundings, and she knew she was close to home. With the help of the kind cats, Fluffy finally made it back home to her family. She was overjoyed to see them again. And grateful for the kindness of the cats who had helped her. From that day on, Fluffy never wandered too far from home again. Moral of the story: the lost kitten teaches us that sometimes, our curiosity can lead us into dangerous situations. It's important to be careful and not stray too far from home. If we do find ourselves lost or in trouble, there are always kind-hearted people who are willing to help us.